All right, here we go. It is May 21st. I can't believe we're in May 21st already.
I
Great.
think Mother Nature can't believe it here in Buffalo, New York either.
Oh,
It's
what
60 degrees.
is that cold for you for this time of year?
Do you see me with this sweater on? I refuse to turn my heat on.
I only went to New York one time, and it was right before Thanksgiving. And I went there to speak at a conference. It was what was it? It was a big expo, a big internet expo. And the woman that had hired me to come and speak, it was the Web 2.0 Expo. And she knew me, and she's like asked me like, "What do you plan to wear coming to New York?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know. What do you want me to wear?" I'm thinking she wants me to wear like a suit and tie or something. I'm like, "No, that ain't happening."
Uh-huh.
But she's like, "Well, it's New York. It's not Huntington Beach." And I'm like, "Well, you mean it's cold?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's gonna be cold." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, no problem. I'll wear some sweats and whatever." I get there and they're having a heat wave.
Ah,
And it's just like home. And I'm like, what the hell are these people talking about? And anyway, I spent the whole week there. I did my thing, and the last day coming out to go back to the airport, they had like a suburban limo that was taking us to and from the airport. I swear to God, I opened or they opened the door to let me out, and I walked in and it was so freaking cold. It was like bone chilling. I'm
hmm.
like, "Oh my God, I got to get out of here. I'm gonna fucking die."
Yeah, it can change in one day.
Oh my.
We've seriously had days where I would wake up and it would be overcast, it would rain, snow, hail, all in the same day.
Wow. Yeah, that's just not for me. I am not built for that. The
Yeah.
heat and the cold, I'm just not built for that. The
Yeah.
opposite of that, we took a cruise one time to Christmas Island, and they don't do this anymore. I don't know why. The island's off limits now for the cruise ships. But we get on the island and it's overcast, and it was tolerable because Christmas Island's like right on the equator. So it was tolerable. We're walking around the island, and all of a sudden I can see the clouds clearing, and I can see on the water, because I was out like knee deep in a little lagoon. I could see the sun coming across the water towards me. Oh my God. When that sun hit me, it was like walking into a blast furnace. Same thing. I'm like, "Oh my God, I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna die." So, so I am just not built for that stuff.
Yeah.
And some of you guys know Linda Kay. She's in our group and she's in Craig's group. She's in Peru right now, going to Machu Picchu into the high altitude, doing that hike. And I'm just like, "Oh my God, I would never make it through that."
Well, it
Yeah,
depends on what season you're in, because it was very nice when we visited there.
yeah, for me, it's just that high altitude. That'd be
Well,
too
three
much.
weeks later, they had a monsoon that flooded the whole town.
Oh, really? I've
Yeah.
been seeing her pictures. It looks really cool. It's cool stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to we'll get out of the weather business here. And I know you guys didn't come here for a weather report.
Oh yeah, that's why I pay $1,000 a month so I can get the weather report.
I've seen that before, I tell you what. But anyway, anybody like got anything you want me to cover specifically, or
Hey, John,
hey, how's it going?
going good. I want to just thank you for the support with when I sent you the support ticket. I really appreciate it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no problem.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, I haven't been able to get a hold of someone that has a WordPress website. I have a couple of companies, small companies. One of them is a fencing company. The other one is a roofing company, and they're
Okay.
interested in the Optimancer, but
Okay.
they do not have uh, WordPress. So,
Okay.
is there an easy way for me to implement it?
There is, I mean, there's a way to sell to non-WordPress customers, and
Okay,
it depends on how deep you want to go and how technical oriented you are. If you're like a webmaster, sure, it's just copy and paste stuff.
okay,
Because really all you're doing, the LLM file is super simple. Optimancer will generate the LLM file and then you just FTP it into their base directory. So that's the first piece. That's super simple.
okay.
The second one is Optimancer will create all of the schema codes for you.
Hmm.
Again, that's just a copy and paste, but if they've got, 40 pages, you're literally editing 40 pages.
Mm.
And then the same thing with the FAQ. It literally gives you the HTML code to drop into all those pages. So the short answer is, yeah, you could totally do it.
Okay,
It will do all the heavy lifting for you, but then you just have to go and do the copy and paste work into the actual site.
I see, I see.
So
Because both of
obviously
them,
you would charge them a lot more for that.
okay, that absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
But both of them already have a company that's managing their website. So
Okay.
would I just forward that over to their webmaster?
You could totally do that. Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
just
You
send
could
them the
just
files.
send them the file. You can also decide if you want to do it as a one-time fee for that.
Yes,
Like that's one of the options. Like when I originally trained for the agency owners, that's what I said. I said there's two paths to this. There's the smash and grab, which is WordPress only. Like if you don't have WordPress, you don't qualify. Sorry.
right.
And then there's the other path where you could literally just hand their webmaster a report. You could say, here's the other option that we offer. If you have a webmaster that can implement the services for you, we'll do the work on our side. We'll generate the report. We hand it off to your webmaster, and then they implement into your site for you. And you
Okay.
can actually do that with WordPress as well.
Oh,
We
okay.
we have run into a lot of people that have a webmaster that does their WordPress site, and webmasters do not like other people monkeying in their pot of stew.
I bet. Yeah.
So so super simple solution. You just tell them no problem, just give me your webmaster's info. I need to send them the plugin so they can install it. Webmaster installs it, and then from your control panel, you can literally push the content right into the WordPress site for them. So
Oh,
you're
okay.
not involved in the WordPress itself, but you're controlling it from your control panel in Optimancer.
Right. Okay.
So
Okay.
there's a lot of different situations that you'll run into when you're doing this kind of work for people.
Yes.
Uh, there's the other one where it's not a WordPress site and you don't want to be hands-on in it, but they have a webmaster. You can generate the big report for them, give it to them. It has everything their webmaster needs to implement.
Okay. Okay.
So
And they don't need
that's
specific instructions from me. They know what to do.
they don't need it, but in the reports we actually have the specific instructions
Oh,
built
perfect.
in.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
we kind of we kind of anticipated that.
Got it.
So,
Got it.
because believe it or not, there's a lot of webmasters out there that don't really have the technical ability and they need a
Mm.
little guidance. And hey, that's okay. We'll give it to them. We'll
Yeah.
give them whatever they need.
That's great. Okay, perfect.
Because
So
our job, remember, our job is to make other people look good. Whether you're doing it for a webmaster and he can get seen in AI now, or whether you're doing it for, the webmaster that makes him look like a superstar to his boss, or,
yeah,
it doesn't matter. Our job is to make whoever look good.
that's perfect. So once they implement that, well, I guess before I do anything, I run the report that looks into
Yes.
the
You
progress
run
report
you
before.
yes, you run the progress report before,
Yes.
and that way you have a baseline. And then
Okay. Yes.
let's say there's a webmaster that's going to do the work. So you give your client the base report, you give the webmaster the marching orders, and then a month later you can run that base report again and show your client if his webmaster's done his job or not.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Okay.
And if he hasn't, just say, hey, let's give him another 30 days and you run the report again. And that way you can prove what you've done is being used.
Yes.
And you can prove that their webmaster did what they were supposed to do. So everybody's
Right.
happy.
Right. And I'll also be able to use that as case studies.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely.
already we've helped these couple clients.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to be next?
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
great. Thank you so much, John.
Yeah. And with the agency, you got 20 accounts. You could take like a couple of your already existing customers and offer it to them. Say, hey, I want to do this as a case study. And then, if you like it, I'll give you like 90 days for free. If you like it and you want to continue, then, I'll do it really cheap for you
Okay,
as,
yeah, that's a
as a
great idea.
perk.
Okay,
That way you can get case studies without having to sell without proof, you know.
yes, perfect,
So it's
perfect. Thank you.
believe me, like when you're paying 197 for 20 items for sale and you're charging, 100 to 200 a month for each one, you can afford to give a couple away in the beginning.
Right. Yes,
That's why we did it that way. So it makes it really easy on the agency owners.
perfect, perfect. We'll do that.
All right, awesome. Janie, go ahead.
Yes, your pricing is always good. This is a QAI tool question.
Okay.
Which tool would you use to create a logo and which tool would you use to animate it?
Okay. So we have a specific tool for logo creation called Logo Beast. We also, and I'll be totally honest with you, I always try Logo Beast first, but then I always fall back on the Act Imager as a backup. And then
Okay,
I compare the two. And I got to tell you, and many times Act Imager kicks butt. It
okay,
really does. So the Logo Beast it's got coding behind it to really it's a really good prompt for creating logos, but for some reason the Act Imager, the developer that I've got that put the coding into that one, I didn't actually code the Act Imager. They coded that one for me, and it really does kick butt. So I'd try them both and compare and see what you like.
and then how do you animate it? Is that a
So
different tool?
that actually, what I do or what I've been doing, I've been sending it over to the logo guys, and I think I sent you that link to them. I forget the name of the company, but they do them for like $20.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I've got that in my notes. Thank
Logo
you.
animators, I think it is.
Yes. Yes.
And if you get on their list about every month or so, they'll send out a special where they'll do like three for the price of one.
Yes.
It's really, really cheap and they do
Yeah,
a
I
really
missed the
good
one
job.
that was 5 for 1.
Yeah. Yeah, they do a really good job. That's who I have do all of mine.
Okay.
You have an app in the Quantum. I mean, it's it's not custom, but it does do the logo animations. I've done a few with it.
Yeah, yeah, there's that. Also, up in the top of Quantum, there's a link up there for the free tool, the Clipster tool. And that's exactly what that tool does. You can load a still image into it, and then it will animate it. And if you look at like my Act sales video, all those little like 2, 3, 4, 5 second animations, those were all done with that Clipster tool. And
Okay,
that's
cool.
that's
Thank you.
available for free for all of you. So, Jim, go ahead.
Yeah, I think animating images meta is free and you could try that. Um,
Thank you,
I,
Jim.
on Optimancer, if you install Optimancer on a WordPress site and someone adds a page or a post, would the frequently asked questions automatically get applied to those?
What you have to do is you would have to set it in the control panel, and then every 2 weeks, because this is something like if you put a plugin in somebody's site, they might not want you having access to their site long term. So you might only get that initial install and then they lock you out so you can't get into their plugin. And you don't have to, it auto syncs every week. So once a week, and you can even set the day if you want when you set it up in the initial install. Uh, it defaults just to 7 days. So if you set it up on a Tuesday, it's going to run every Tuesday.
Okay,
But
that works.
every week it will do that auto sync. So if you detect a new page and you generate the FAQ, when that weekly sync happens, it pushes it live right then.
Okay. And then question number two, um, you did Optimancer on my Peak Business Coaching site, and I'm very grateful for that. Um, I've noticed some of my clients have really good looking sites that your team has put together, and the frequently asked questions don't match the color scheme or the font or fill out the whole page. Are all those three adjustable?
It's totally editable.
Okay.
Inside Optimancer in your control panel, when you go to the FAQs, I don't remember what the button's called, but there's a button that opens up a design tab and all the colors. You can change all the colors, the fonts, all of that stuff to match the site.
And do you do that in the plugin on the site?
You do that in the Optimancer control panel. So it's not done in WordPress, it's done on the Optimancer side.
So for my site, I think it's in your control panel. Can I just send you the hexadecimal codes and font style
Yeah, that's not a
and
problem.
page width?
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, I can handle that for you.
You're the best.
No problem. Got you covered. We've done, like, speaking of Optimancer, we've done a lot of work. I know Chris has done a lot of work over the last couple of weeks, simplifying things and making things like getting rid of all the little, there was just a handful of little bugs. And he said last week he was going to block out time and go through, and we had a punch list and he was going to knock it all out. I haven't had a chance to get back together with him and make sure that it's all done, but I think it is because I've seen some updates that would represent that that had been done. But on my end, I've been working on the marketing side of things and on the agency side of things, and I really should do like another group session with all the agency owners to walk you guys through all the work that's been done. Because initially we had a prospecting funnel with the website widget that you can put on to prospect, but as I was doing that for a couple of clients, a couple of our agency owners wanted me to go in and like set it up for them. And I really didn't want to do that, but I needed to just to get the feel of it so I could support it. And in the process of doing that, I'm like, oh yeah, this is okay, but this is really beginner level. This needs more to it. So, because in the initial one, it was basically opt in, take the test, and then click here to schedule an appointment. And I'm like, I know for me, I don't want people scheduling appointments. I want them to buy it. So there was no sales page. So what we did was I created a 4-step funnel. So at this point, and this is all available in the inside the members area. If you've got an agency license, you can go in there and you can download the new 4-step funnel. And it's not, the pages are not Kartra pages. These are HTML pages that I had my Sorcerer build for me, and they're awesome. And what you do, you just literally load them up to your server, make a couple of swap outs on content, and they're good to go. And then you go into like your Kartra or your Go High Level account, you set up your opt-in, and you just drop that opt-in code in the placeholder in the page. And then your button shows up so they can opt in. When they opt in, they go to the thank you page. The widget is already pre-installed now on the thank you page. So the path is written. When you upload the document file, it uploads the widget into the right folder. Everything's done. So you don't have to know how to do all of that stuff. That was freaking some people out. And as easy as it is, I know if you've never done it before, it just looks like it's in Chinese or something. But that problem is all solved. It's all in the thing. You just upload it. I've done all the work for you. So you go to the thank you page, you take the test, and then right there, it's like, here's the button to order, here's our price, and then that takes you just plug in your order button that you create in Kartra or Go High Level or wherever you're selling it. And then that takes you to a thank you page, and the thank you page has all the information to get them to send you their WordPress login so you can do the work. And it has every one of those has a Becky video on it. So Becky is literally walking them through the process. She's telling them exactly what to do, how to do it, when to do it, what to click, where to go, all of it. And then so that's a really big upgrade. That's a really big upgrade for the agency owners. So I'm trying to make this like as just drop dead simple for you guys to sell this as possible.
Hey, John, does that work on standard like WordPress as well? Just drop a code in.
Yes. Yes, you can. If you have a WordPress site, you can I use WP File Manager as a plugin, and it's like an FTP program. So you can slide the files right across right into your WordPress site. They're not WordPress pages.
Yeah.
So you won't be able to edit them. They're HTML pages, but you can use that FTP program as a plugin to move them over. Makes it super simple. And when I do the agency training, I'll actually walk through that and give a demonstration and set one up for you. It's really easy. Really easy stuff. But yeah, and they're super simple and easy to implement. I'll show you guys an example here. Let's see. There it is. Share the sound. Okay, so this is one I just set this up for a new customer. It's cutting edge AI tech. And this is like the original page. This is the opt-in page for the free visibility test. And again, like I said, it's got Becky here to walk you through why you want to do the test. And then there's a button, that's a Kartra button that pops an opt-in. So you put your name in there, you agree, put your email, and take the test. And it runs the test. It has Becky here to greet you, tell you, what to do next, put your website address in here, analyze the site, and then there's the button to order the services. And it's got the cutting edge AI tech branded in here. Another call to action. It's got an email button. So if you go to click this, you go to the sales page. And then again, here's Becky doing a sales pitch for you. And it's got the pricing. It's $497 setup, $197 a month. And that goes to, the Kartra button, which we haven't set the Kartra. We have to get his Stripe account set. This is a brand new Kartra account that we're setting up. So once the Stripe button is set, this will load the site and away you go. And then what that will do, that will take you to order thank you. And this is the thank you page. And she says, "You're in. Here's how we start. Again, she's going to walk you through the whole thing. And it says, step one, send us your WordPress access. Tells exactly what you need. And this is a button here that they can send it to. When they click this button, watch this, it opens an email and it prompts them what to put in the email. Puts who it's to, it puts the service intake. They don't have to fill out anything in the email. All they have to do is put in their information in this email and you're done. So again, made this really, really simple. Now, if they have path B and they will have a webmaster involved, same thing. We just need the webmaster's information and they can click here and it's same thing. Webmaster name, webmaster email, and my site URL. So they just literally just fill in the blanks and you're good to go. So that's what this is the 4-page template that I made. It's pure HTML. You literally just drop it in place and away you go. Drop your logo in and off you go. So it's a big step up from what we had. But for an agency owner, I mean, it's a copy paste job and you're in business as an agency selling AI optimization services. So Shantha, go ahead.
Hi, John. That's awesome. We need to get working on things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looks great. Would you suggest we use? I'd like to do a lead quiz in it. So what would I use to set that up?
Is this you want to use it as a prospecting tool or you want to just do one for yourself?
No, as a prospecting tool. Like sounds, it's like, I'm thinking about different types of travel. So one would be like river cruise is,
Okay.
take this quiz to see if you're a right river cruise
Gotcha.
traveler.
So you could actually set up multiple installs of what I just showed you,
Hmm.
like that 4-page funnel. You could edit the text for river cruises. And you could have that like you could have your luxurydestination.com/river cruise.
Okay.
And that would pop up and they would take the test and it would all be, river cruise related. So you could sell that to all of the businesses that revolve around river cruises. And that would be totally dialed in for them. That's what you're thinking, right? To sell the service to river cruise
No. That
operators.
was, I'm sorry. It was totally away from Optimizer. I was
Oh,
looking at
okay.
more as my lead magnet to get
Oh,
clients interested. I'm
gotcha.
sorry. Yeah.
Okay. No, I just misunderstood the question. No problem. So with any kind of lead magnet, like if you're targeting people that want to go on a riverboat cruise, right?
Right.
Okay. So what you need to do is you need to go into the build a buyer tool
Hmm.
and do a profile on people that want to do a river cruise. And that way you'll get in there and you'll figure out exactly what's important to them, why they want to do that, what they want to get out of it. And then you'll be able to figure out, okay, now that I know what's important to them, what can I give them for free as an option to opt in?
Hmm.
And I think like for people that are looking for something like that, it's not an inexpensive thing. So the idea of either saving on the initial package or maybe a resource guide, or I wouldn't call it a resource guide, but like a treasure map because they're going on an adventure, right?
Hmm.
So if you packaged up like, hey, I have a secret treasure map that all the people that have gone on this cruise, the ones that had the treasure map, they all took home the gold. It
Hmm.
shows you exactly where to go at every different stop to find the hidden gems that no one else on the cruise ship will find. You can say even the even the cruise director doesn't know about this stuff. They don't sell this in the tour packages. This is truly the treasure hunt of a lifetime. And you really indoctrinate them. You indoctrinate them on the journey. I think that would be a phenomenal lead magnet for you.
Okay.
And I mean, it even sounds exciting. I was excited about just talking about it.
Great angle, yeah.
But that's what you need. You need something that somebody will not be able to go to sleep at night if they say no.
Mm.
Like you want them laying on the pillow thinking, God, I wonder what was in that. And then they get up in the middle of the night because they can't go to sleep and they go back to your website and they download it. That's what you want.
Right. Right. Very interesting. Okay.
And
Yeah, I'll look at that.
You could literally do that for everything that you do. Riverboat cruises is just the start. You could actually use the treasure theme on a lot of different vacation packages. It doesn't even have to be a cruise. It could be like uh, the destinations in the Bahamas where they go to those resorts, that have all those fancy slides and fun stuff. And you could say, normal people come here and this is their experience, but we have a treasure hunter package and it'll show you all the stuff no one else gets to see. And that's really intriguing.
It is. It is.
So that's what you want. You want to come up with something they can't get anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You just have to do a little bit more than the next guy and you will win. So, and here's another thing. I describe that as a unique mechanism in a lot of cases where you've got something that's unique and different. Don't be surprised if you do this and your competitors steal it. Don't be shocked. It's a compliment. That means you did it right. But now you've created competition for yourself. So never go like all out warfare out of the gate. Just do it a little bit better, knowing that they're going to copy you and you're going to have to up them.
Mm-hmm.
So like I would plan out like 3 or 4 steps of how you could come out with this and then make it better and better and better. And that way they'll actually have to run to keep up with you instead of being able to leapfrog you. You
Right.
don't want to be easily leapfrogged. And if you come out of the gate swinging and you go all the way, everything all in, and they grab it and steal it, you got nowhere to go. So just be aware of that because that will happen.
It will
It's
happen.
guaranteed. I guarantee you, if you do something good and you make a splash in an industry, you're going to get copied.
Mm.
Guaranteed.
I like that, being ahead of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So make sure that you pave a path to be able to do that. So last thing you want to do is come up with something really cool and then have everyone else use it and then you get squashed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would do. I'd be thinking along those ways. So, all right. Anything
Yeah.
else, Shanta?
No, I was just
Oh, I think she froze up. All right. So we'll go to Aaron.
gonna say,
Where's the whip?
You look very festive today.
I'm outside building my greenhouse while I'm listening, and I'm like the last week I joined Substack, and it's like everybody's on there talking about jump on AI and start making money, and you can have $10,000 months. And I'm gonna go inside in case it's too windy. 1 second. And like, I think I always overcomplicate things, and I think it's like being who I am, I think about sustainability and I think about how AI drains so much energy. So I think I struggled, um,
You have
with
you have
like,
an overactive conscious.
yeah. But also at the same time, me not doing it isn't gonna affect it, or me doing it isn't
Yeah.
going to affect the world. And what will affect my family is if I make $1. Like
Yeah.
even $2,000 a month would be life changing. And I think I was like, all right, stop looking at all the shiny pennies and focus. And I'm finding that what I want to do takes realistically too much of what I can do right
Yeah.
now, being my
Yeah.
boys are just full of it. And my intuition keeps saying like Optimancer, Optimancer. So one, and I feel like I've probably said this before, I have no email list. I don't have anybody. I know that you have all these funnels. So realistically for me, not having any people, because I know a lot of people here already have clients that can use this. So it's
Yeah. Yeah.
really easy. And I know you want me to make money. So
I
how can
do.
I make money next month if I
I desperately want you to make money. That's absolutely for sure, 100%. So the whole thing, don't let the fact that you don't have a list be any kind of a deterrent
it
because
it is like
it,
it's my stopping point. How am I going to find the clients and then start paying? I don't know what it would be if I joined the agency level now,
okay, so
um,
think
per
about
month.
this. Anyone out here, including myself, didn't have a list when we started.
Mhm.
So we all started at the same point. The thing was, like, the thing that held me back the longest was not that I didn't have a list, it was that I didn't have a way to prospect because anybody can build a list. A list is just talking to people. Like you can build a list one person at a time. It's the hard way, but you can do it. And it's the way most of us get started. It's the way I got started, one at a time. I did it very strategically though. Like the people that I targeted first, and believe me, the way I did it was the hard way. But I did it the smart way too. It was the hard way, but the smart way. And I didn't just like go target anybody. I targeted specifically the ones that could bring me more without my effort. Like I knew, God, if I can make this guy happy, he's got a bunch of people. He has a lot of people that he influences and he'll bring them my way. And he did. So it grew my business very quickly without a list. A list starts with one. So if I were to do it again, I would spend a little more effort setting up a prospecting funnel that would do that work and not have me have to do it. And then I would go out and I would funnel people into the system instead of me being the system. Because when you don't have that,
But
you're
I don't know how to
following
do
up.
that.
You're literally
Yeah.
following up. You're having to do the calls, you're having to keep the schedules, all that crap that drives me nuts.
Yeah.
So
Well,
and
that's, I
and
mean, I
I
feel like you created all the tools where it's pretty hands off.
yeah, yeah,
But
like
once I get the email that somebody signed up, then I have to know how to put the plug in to their
yes.
site, or then okay.
Yeah, and that stuff, it's all easy. We've got training on all of that. I have videos where I literally you just do what I'm doing step by step in the video. It's like I'm doing
Yeah.
it there and you're just looking over my shoulder and you just following the same steps. So it's just implementation. The other thing, I mean, you could make money if you want like the fastest way to make money. This is like you can do this right now without spending a dime and without creating anything. There are tons of people that need things done. They need content. They need things not because they don't know how to do it, because they don't want to do it. Like content is a huge thing for a website. You know how many websites are out there that have zero content on them? They paid a developer. The developer did a great job. The website looks good, but it's got nothing in it. They didn't give the web developer anything to put in it to be of value. They desperately need that done if they want that website to do business for them. The other thing, and here's a big one, and Frank Kern sold this really, really hard. He sold this. This was his biggest bonus that got him more sales than probably anything. He called it his 4-day cash machine. And all it is, it's going out to a business that has a list. There are a lot of businesses out there that have massive lists of clients, and they have a whole database sitting right there at their fingertips, and they've never sent a single email to them. Never. If they're literally it's a gold mine. And those people, they have a very valuable asset sitting in their drawer, closed up. It's that database, it's that list. They know in their mind that that list is worth a lot of money. They just don't want to do it, or they don't know how to do it, or whatever. But you can go in there, you can go into that business, and you can say, hey, if you've got a list, I can make you money with your list right now, today. And all it's going to cost you is a share of what I make for you. So this way you can earn your keep. If you have trouble pricing things and you have trouble saying, I want this amount of money to do this for you, this switches that. You can say, hey, what do you want to sell? Like, for instance, I did this with a golf club company. I said, what do you guys have in inventory that you desperately want to move? And they had a bunch of clearance stuff they wanted gone. And I said, if I can move that, whatever amount of that I can move, will you give me 25%? It's like a sales commission. If they paid a sales guy, they'd pay him 25%. So I'm just asking for the same thing, same deal. I'm going to get 25% of, did I freeze up here?
You
You
keep
did.
going in and out every now and then, John, but I thought
Okay.
it was just my connection.
No, I
Yeah,
think
you said
I,
you broke up when you're like talking about I can make you money today. And I was like, but what are you
oh,
saying?
shoot. So it's the idea of going in and you ask them, what inventory do you want to move? And I did this with a golf company. I said, what do you want to move? And they had a bunch of clearance stuff. And I said, okay, if I can move that for you, will you give me 25%? That's what you pay your sales commission to your sales guys. Will you pay me the same thing if I can move that inventory for you? And they said, sure, no problem. So I implemented Frank Kern's 4-day cash machine. And basically, all it is, it's 4 simple emails, and it's copy and paste. You literally plug in what it is that you want to sell and the special sale price. And the email is short. It's just a couple of paragraphs. It basically goes something like this. Hey, our loss is your gain. We've got a certain amount of these things in inventory and we need to move them. So for the next 4 days, we're selling these at a deeply discounted rate. It's first come, first serve. When they're gone, they're gone. Or at the end of the 4-day sale, sale's over, and you send that email out to the database. Some people will buy right out of the gate. And then the next day, you send a follow-up email. Hey, there's only 2 days left. Inventory is getting reduced. And then the next day, last day, 1 day left. And then the last day, this is it. End of the day, it's over, and we only literally have a few left now. So if you want it, this is your chance. This is your last chance. That's all it is. He called it the 4-day cash machine. And he's got so many testimonials of people that have taken that and gone into a company and pitched them on that. And they said, hell yeah, do it. I'll pay you. Do it. That's free money for them. It's like me paying affiliates. I would be out of my mind not to pay affiliates, because if I don't pay an affiliate, I don't make money. Every time I pay an affiliate, it means they put money in my pocket. I love paying affiliates. It just reminds me how much money they brought me. So, and it's all it is. It's just a sales commission. It's been going on since the beginning of time. There is a cost of sales. I don't care what company you're with. I don't care what product you're moving. There is a cost associated with a sale. Period. No matter what, there is a cost associated with it. You're going to pay one way or another. You might pay with your time. You might put the time in to go make the sale. That is a cost. Someone else might put in their time to make the sale for you. That's a cost. You might pay Google to send you traffic. That is a cost. There is a cost associated with every sale, guaranteed. No matter what. Sales don't fall from the sky. I know you want to think that. I do too, but I've never seen it. Never seen it happen in reality.
Hey, John,
Yeah.
can I give Aaron an idea for start building your list?
Sure.
That's Aaron. If you have anything on social media, build a survey asking people what they want. In order for them to fill out a survey, you need them to give you their name and email address, and basically ask questions. Are you looking for? Hey, if I could find you a product that would actually put your website on ChatGPT, would you be interested in it? And if you get them to say yes, now you have people who said they want John's product. Now you have built-in buyers already. Now you just go connect and you get it. You just start asking people questions and you get them on an email list. All right. And ask them questions of things you could go fulfill right away. Like John's Optimancer. I mean, that's the key way to do it and build your list. And the survey, you know what I mean? I think I learned this, John, from you doing your yearly survey. And that is one of the most unique ways. And your social media right now, even if you don't have the tool to go get them offline, start asking questions on social media and leading people down the road towards where you want them to go, and then get them to go over to an email list.
Yeah, I have some old accounts. I've been off social media for like 2 years, but
Mhm.
they still exist. And one is an old business, and people know, like, and trust me there. Um, but it's my jewelry business. But I could post them on all. I've never made a survey before, so I just have to figure out how to do that.
Actually, if you go in and ask ChatGPT to say, "Hey, I need to write a survey to build. These are
I
the things I'm
figured.
trying to ask." That's the fastest way to get it done. ChatGPT will write you the questions. Even right now, I've got our Perplexity knows that I use Kartra, and it tells me the format to put it in Kartra's survey. It actually tells me because I've taught at Kartra, and I ask this is the questions I want to ask, the ideas I want to get across. This is the information I'm trying to get from them. What questions do I need to ask? How do I need to lay the questions out in the survey in Kartra? And it lays it right out for me.
Yeah.
So,
The other thing that you probably have is one of these. You probably have one of these little devices here.
That's what I'm on right now.
That's a list. You have a list. I bet you have a contact list in here. You also probably have Facebook Messenger. All the people that
Mhm.
you're connected with. It's one thing to put a post in social media. That's like, to me, that's highly ineffective. But you have a lot of people that you're connected to that you can message. And if you send a personal message to them, asking them that question that Tim just threw out there, you'll probably get a fair amount of yeses. And then you can send them whatever it is that you're going to send them, the survey, and then have that lead to the next question of, hey, I have a free checker that'll check your website and let you know if you're optimized.
Hey,
And then
John, this is Shar. Erin, another thing is that your email box. So you've been emailing people, and you can probably go in there and export all of your contacts. And then that also can be the beginning of a list, and just start there.
yeah,
Yeah,
everybody has a list.
I just meant like a specific business list,
Yeah, no, I get it. When you were talking about a list, you know,
everybody has a list.
yeah, business cards. The idea is your list automated? Like for me, when I get somebody to opt in, they're in my Kartra, and that's an automated list. I love automated lists. But originally I didn't have that. So don't feel like you can't do this because you don't have something. If you
Yeah.
have the desire, you have what you need. That really
Well,
is what it comes down to.
I do. And it's just, I think because of last year spending all this money and making nothing, following all the shiny
Yeah.
pennies, and I like followed the advice and
Yeah. Yeah.
didn't make a dime, but it wasn't through you. It was through the Irish guy
Yeah. I try
that
not
I
to
he
take
you were on his
I try not to take money
but
without providing value.
so I guess what a good idea for me would be is to before I sign up for Kartra, first I'll just come up with a survey that I can put out there to everybody that I know. And then when I have people showing interest, then I can sign up for the things and
Yeah, yeah,
follow through.
absolutely. Like I said, you can make money without spending a dime. You know,
Or Aaron,
you can offer services to people to do all kinds of stuff. Like literally, you could walk into any business right now and you could say, "What is your biggest problem? What's the one thing that if I could just make that go away for you, what would it be?" And they might say, "Oh my God, I need social media posts. I need memes created. I need content for my website. I need a product sales page." And you just open up AI, you give it some basic information about their stuff, and boom, you just made money. And it's not because they couldn't do it, they just don't want to. There's there's money to be made in things that people don't want to do.
and I want to take it one step further for Aaron. If you could find someone who's actually a coach, that just like what John said, that there's something that someone else needs and that you're willing to do so that you can have someone that can coach you. And because that's what it really, from listening to you, it sounds like that's really, you're an intelligent person. You just need someone to really help you with each of these steps and keep you accountable for it. And I'm saying that because I have paid for several coaches that has helped me because I'm too smart to get anything done, so that I have to have someone spell stuff out for me, and it has helped me extremely. But I understand where you're at right now with spending, and I was there too. Spend so much money on these, you can do it yourself, blah blah blah, and then you're spinning your wheels until I finally said, this is ridiculous. And I paid for a coach and that helped me through that. So look for someone. There's always a yin and a yang, or however you want to say it. There is someone, just like what John was saying. There are people, I make a lot of my money from people that just don't want to do the easiest thing to do. I have a guy, I might have told you that before, he pays me and he just sits there on Zoom while I do a Vista print. I go on Vistaprint and find a template. Does this template work for you? Yeah, that's it. Move around, listen. He just sits there and he pays me to do that. So there,
All day
find,
long.
huh? Yeah,
I said all day long. They will
all day
pay you.
long. There's all kind of people, but a lot of coaches, a good coach loves to do what they do, and they're good at it, but they may not like the little mundane whatever stuff. So if you could do some of the mundane stuff, build up your skills while they're also keeping you accountable and helping you, that may be the best thing because it's going to be hard. I hear you. I hear your heart. I hear you wanting to do these different things, but you're going to need someone that's going to take you along the path. I had to bite the bullet and do that.
It's the blessing and a curse of also being ADD. It's
You
like,
know what? I don't even know if I'm ADD. I may be, but I know
I
that
am.
Yeah.
you know what? It's a label that that I guess I
Well,
just
I
don't accept.
I hyper focus on the things that I'm interested in, and when I'm working, I hyper focus and I get things done, or I can like, in a small amount of time succeed. But my problem, I think, right now is, the print on demand business. It's like I just don't have the time, but there's all these tools that are right now is the time to get in before everyone else. So I'm like, all right, I need to switch gears and then I can go back to my passion project. Um, because I'm still not making money and it's almost June. How did that happen?
Yeah. You got to
Yeah,
make some, you
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 know,
you got to make some money.
the
You'll
whole
have somebody to
AD,
hold your feet to the fire.
the whole ADD label, that's a new
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
What that used to be is they just call you an entrepreneur.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank
I like
you.
that. I like that.
In that case, Einstein was like ADD, I mean, I don't, whatever I know I'm something. I know I'm something, a piece of work.
The,
And,
the
and
best,
I
most
know it.
successful people don't fit in the box.
Exactly.
They're not
I
normal.
definitely don't fit in the box.
Yeah,
Well,
that's perfectly okay.
Well, and just from listening to you guys, I think two big questions that I can ask is what is the biggest problem that you have in your business? And also, what don't you want to do for your business? So I can post that and have people fill it out. And then I can, if you don't already have the solution built, I can find a way to do it in an automated form just because of the world of AI.
but be
Yeah.
more
But I can
specific.
also,
That first question has got to be more specific because everybody's going to say the same thing that you're saying. If you say, what is the biggest problem in your business? They're going to say, I need to make money. I need to get leads, and so that's too broad. So come up with something specific that's
okay,
leading towards something that you would do.
that I
Not,
already
don't
have
make it
a
too
solution
broad.
for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes what you might do is leading the horse is a really good way for marketing to steer this. And what you might do
Okay.
is you might pick, say, four things that you know you can do and it'd be easy for you to do, and then give them the A, B, C, D. So of these four things, what's the biggest pain in your butt? Is it making social media posts? Is it managing your lists? Is it, emailing your lists? Is it following up? Is it creating content for your website that will actually sell product instead of just sit there and look pretty? Give them like some things to choose from. And that
Okay.
way they're just picking from a menu and they're picking from a menu that you already have a plate of food ready to serve them.
Great idea,
That
as
would
usual.
be a good way to do that. And if you had four things, you could have four automated funnels set up ready to go. Say, oh, for those of you that selected A, here's your path. B, here's your path. So that's the way my new website is actually getting set up right now. It's three paths. It's when somebody comes in, it's what is your biggest problem? Is it traffic? Is it conversion? Or is it not knowing who to trust? So I'm giving them three choices right out of the gate with the new website. And depending on which option that they choose, then they go into that section of the funnel and it talks specifically to them, to their problems, and offers them solutions. So it's my version of that. It's like
What would be an A, B, or C version of Optimancer?
so of Optimancer, actually it is the traffic solution for me. It's like if you have traffic problems, here's why. Google is losing traction. If you were getting traction or if you're getting traffic from Google, you're probably noticing it's not as good as it was last year. Here's why. It's because AI is kind of taken over a big chunk of that search volume. And here's the next question I have for you. Is AI able to send you any recommendations? Because that's what they're doing. AI is choosing who gets recommended. And if it's not choosing you, you want to find out if it's even able to choose you. I have a free test. So it's a very clean path to get them in, get them excited, and get them to understand their problem. And once they understand the problem, you are the solution and you're right there in front of them. They don't want to go out and do a bunch of research and find somebody when they've already found them. They're like lightning. They'll take the path of least resistance. They want to go right to ground. Boom. If you are the lightning rod, you are the path to ground. They'll use you to solve the problem. All you have to do is show it to them. So asking them, like saying, hey, is traffic your problem? Do you not have enough traffic? And then show them the real problem. Here's why you have this problem. You're not visible in AI. AI is the biggest transfer of traffic that has been since the internet began. And you're not participating. So you just poked a hole in them. They're bleeding. It's a really good time to offer them a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
I used to do a similar process when I was selling SEO services. I would get them to discover their own problem. Like I would ask them, who's your perfect client? What do you think that person would search if they sat down in front of Google? And then I let them do it right in front of me. So let's test it. I'd have them type it in and up comes the search results and they're not there. They just discovered a huge problem. And all I didn't even point it out. I just took them on a guided tour of their worst nightmare. Let them discover it. And because I did that, I was the lightning rod standing right next to them. They just thought, oh, what do we have to do to fix this? How soon can we start? It wasn't how much does it cost? It was how soon can we solve this? Money
Hey,
was
John.
not an object. Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. So part of the thing about traffic is there was a product that you had called SitePop that we signed up for, I guess, a year or two ago,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it seems to work. I was just wondering how valid that still is, because I got several web people told me, oh, that's really kind of you could get flagged by Google and banned from SEO or search if you get caught in that context. I was
Yeah,
just
no,
wondering
they're
if that.
they're they're absolutely right with the tech. There's been a lot of technology that claimed to do the same thing, but it really didn't. And what they do is they set up these farms to send the false signals through
Yeah.
proxy servers and stuff out of India. And yeah, that's really easy for Google to understand what you're doing. And if
Mhm.
you do that, yeah, you will get flagged. You'll probably get banned. So they're right with that, but they don't understand the technology and what we're doing. We've been doing this since 2010. So 16 years and we've never had a site flagged.
Oh, great. So just continue on. I think we still have like the basic service, like 3 accounts or something like that.
Yeah, it
Um,
still works.
but
We're actually in the process right now of revamping the entire system.
mhm.
And because there's been a lot of changes, there's been a lot of updates to the way connections are made and all that kind of stuff. So Chris is actually working on revamping the back end of the whole thing. So we'll have another rollout of that probably in the next couple months. But yeah, that
Okay.
if you're Google centric, that's one of the best tools that's ever been around for it.
Yeah. So basically, as long as the site has a legitimate offer and a call to action landing page that drives traffic to it, or is it better to go to like the general URL and then just build uh, you know, I guess I
Well,
guess representation on.
with Site Pop, you're not able to control what page they're going to recommend or
Yeah,
what page they're going to list. With Site Pop, what you're doing is you're sending search signals from real users' devices. It's real
yeah,
cell phones and stuff.
yeah. I
So
have like
it's not,
five
yeah,
cell phones.
it's not coming from like proxy servers. You're in a
Yeah,
network where there's 10,000 phones. So you
yeah,
literally have upwards of 10,000 phones that at some point or another are going to send you a signal. That's
yeah. So
hard to that's hard to like identify and pinpoint of, oh yeah, these guys are doing stuff that they shouldn't do. It's
yeah, it
impossible.
says we expect to reach 500 searches this month using your devices, which is pretty good because that basically pops your site or that landing page
Yeah.
to the top of the three pack. How does that
Well, it's not the
generally?
three pack. The three pack is the advertising part, but it's the
Oh, yeah,
organic search.
the organic. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So in the organic, what happens is when we start sending these signals, Google sees real traffic clicking through
Yeah,
to your site. So
yeah,
Google has built-in FOMO. It doesn't want to miss out on something that's hot.
yeah.
So when it sees those users clicking through, it says, "Oh, that site has value. Let's boost it up." And
Mm,
then what you have to be careful of is that you don't do it on a crap site. Because if you do it
mm.
on a crap site, all of a sudden you're showing all this high volume, high value clicks. And then Google starts sending you some of their customers. If their customers hit the site and bounce off, you just shot yourself in the foot.
So we really have to have a
It
wide breadth of content on that
it's
particular.
it's very important that your site provides value. So people
Yeah.
don't click on it. Like you don't use this for clickbait. If you use
So
it
it's
for
not like for a landing page, it's more of a broad site with deep content.
yeah, it's they're gonna Google is gonna decide which page to send the viewer to.
Mm,
So if they send it to a page that is, just a junk page or it's not relevant to what it is, and you did a bait and switch, that signal is going to go back to Google that, yeah, this user got a bad experience. SitePop's
yeah.
sending good user experiences, and if they start sending their traffic and then you're sending bad user experiences back to them, that's gonna just undo all the good that you did with SitePop.
Okay. So what do I tell the web developers that I talk to that say, I mean, because I could get them to give me some, business if I could set them up in the current context, because they're just afraid that if I set them up with this, that they're going to be saying, all of a sudden their site's going to get, or the client site is going to get banned.
Now
For,
it won't get banned. I can almost guarantee it's not going to get
okay.
banned. What could happen? And I've seen this. I've actually had customers that complained and told me that SitePop damaged their search.
Reputation. Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, let me take a look and see what's going on. I went and looked at their site and I said, dude, look at the stats here. When SitePop started, here's the ramp up. We started sending good volume of quality traffic to your site. Google saw that, piggybacked on it. They started sending their customers to your site, and their customers reported back that your site was shit.
Oh,
So they stopped sending you traffic.
so people literally reported back to say that there's bad content or something.
And here's how they did that. They didn't physically send them a report. What they did was they hit the site and they hit the back button.
Oh,
That's the report they sent them.
okay.
And
Okay.
you send 100, Google sends you 100 of their customers and they all hit the back button. That's all they need to know about that site.
Yeah. So I can track that through the Kartra statistics, to track all that.
That, some people use Google Analytics, which I just hate with a passion, but
Yeah.
it's called bounce rate. If you have a high bounce rate, then you're just shooting yourself in the foot. Any traffic that gets sent to that site is just reporting back more bad news to Google. That
So
bounce rate will kill you.
is that in the analytics section of all pages, or particular a particular page of Kartra?
It's not a Kartra function. It's that's a
They have an
server side.
analytics tab. They have an analytics tab on here.
Yeah, I don't know if Kartra gives you bounce rate or not. I've
Okay.
never seen that in there. The only place I've seen bounce rate is through Google Analytics
Yeah.
or server logs. Server logs is where Google Analytics gets its data, by the way.
Ah.
But what they do
Okay.
is a lot of times they'll skew the data because they don't want you to see what's really happening.
And if I get them set up with uh the Optimancer, does does it work as a plugin within Kartra? I missed the first part of what you're talking about earlier.
Op
Can I use Kartra and or GoHo Level or and obviously the WordPress, but
Yeah,
is
you
there
can in Optimancer, you can use anything you want to sell it. You can use Kartra, you can use Go High Level, you can use whatever. You can send it right to a Stripe account to take money. But the way you fulfill is Optimancer has a WordPress plugin.
yeah,
You install the plugin, and then your central server, your control panel at Optimancer, it
yeah,
does all the work and it communicates the work over to the plugin and installs it into the WordPress site. Like
yeah.
it
That
puts
that
the
can I do
FAQs.
will it do the same thing for Kartra and or high level? That's the
It
question
no, it does not work. There's no
in that
plugin
context.
for those. It's
Okay.
it's baked. The plugin's made for WordPress.
I get
Now,
it. Okay.
that said, you could have Optimancer generate all the pieces that it pushes into WordPress, and
Mhm.
you can manually plug those in to Kartra or Go High Level or wherever you want to plug them into.
Ah, with
You
the
can
instructions
manually
of
do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
of each you have to create like the site map and the links and all that.
Yeah, there's
I,
an there's an LLM file you literally just drop in your root directory.
mm,
There's FAQ. It gives you HTML for the FAQ, so you can drop that into the page manually. And it
okay.
also gives you schema where you can paste that into the head tag manually.
Oh, perfect.
So it will
Okay,
give you what you need. It just doesn't automate it for anything other than WordPress.
great. Okay, and then the last question I have is, do you think the Clarity Act is going to pass this summer?
I'm about as sure as I could be.
So we're still go for XRP?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
More than ever. I
Okay,
have,
that's good. Yeah, because it seems like it's taking for freaking ever.
yeah, well, there's a lot of reason behind that. I don't know if you've been on any of the crypto calls or not, but yeah, there's lots of reasons why it's taking forever.
Okay.
But yeah,
All
no,
right.
it's as far as I'm concerned, it is 110%.
This year.
Well, I can't guarantee that it's going to be this year.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee the Clarity Act is going to pass this year.
Yes, I that's my thought because if they can get the clarity passed, at least they have the foundation, the legal structure to implement all of the use cases of what XRP can do.
Yeah, well, here I know a lot of you couldn't care less about crypto, but here's what makes me say it's going to happen this year, and it's
Mhm.
probably going to happen on the 4th of July.
Okay.
If you look at the DTCC, this is a regulator of commodities and all of that.
Yeah, like the SEC.
Yeah, but they actually have control of the actual assets on Wall Street.
Uh, for
They have
tokenization.
yeah, they have the ability to tokenize, and they've come out and they've said, we are going to tokenize all of Wall Street. We're going to do it in two steps. We're going to do it in a soft rollout just for a test to make sure nothing goes haywire. And then if nothing goes haywire, we're going to do the full rollout. And they gave the dates.
Oh, awesome.
And the first date for the soft launch is July 13th.
Wow. Okay.
They cannot do that without clarity.
So that'll be around July 4th,
Yeah,
hopefully. Yeah.
yeah. And then
Awesome.
if that happens, they'll do their full rollout and they'll digitize, they're going to tokenize all of Wall Street
Yeah,
in
the stock
October.
bonds, all the CUPE
Yeah.
structures within. Yeah.
Yeah. So those two dates are publicly available and it's July and October. So before the end of the year, we're going to be fully digitized, tokenized on all those assets.
Well, if they can just get their act together with this oil crisis, I think we'll be back on track. But other than
Eh,
that,
Yeah, I don't know really enough about that portion of it, but I know that's all part of the plan. This
very
is
good.
this is all a big old orchestrated thing. They need to create chaos, and that's what they're doing. They're going to create chaos, and then they're going to come in and fix it, and everything's going to be golden.
All right, John. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. All
Talk to you soon.
right. Eddie, go ahead.
All right, right, John. Do you know the way Optimance is really for getting sites visible, right?
Yes.
For AI, well, you've probably seen all the hullabaloo this last couple of weeks. There's so many people have put out actually methods and courses, whatever, to actually get you ranked
Mm-hmm.
in ChatGPT and stuff. Have you heard of Posi Rank?
Yeah, actually, I was going to reach out to Chris Rimple today
Well, you've
because
got 1 day left if you want to join. That's what I was going to actually talk to you about. But you've 1 day left if you want to join his the program they're running through. Well, I suppose maybe you might know him anyway. So that's exactly what I was going to ask you about. They're doing a lifelong membership thing. It costs about $500, but in it they've claimed, well, they have the testimonials, they have the clients, they've cracked actually getting rankings, and we're talking even about 30 days
yeah,
inside the LMMs. So I'm just thinking, it's a good add-on to just it's like basically SEO, only it's ranking for like AIO. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's definitely a next level thing.
yeah. I've
I
actually have that on my list today to reach out to Chris Rimple.
Do you want me
And
to drop the link in the chat? I think there's a timer on. There's always a timer in these things. There's like there's less
uh, yeah, you can if you want.
12, 12 hours, and I'll drop it in. Everybody can look at it. I also just wanted to know, just pick your brain about it. Like, for instance, like I'm sure you could charge a heck of a lot more money for that, and getting sites just visible. Do you know what I mean? You
Uh-huh.
have the potentiality of ranking there, or well, getting cited like in the LMMs, like ChatGPT, which everybody seems to want to think only.
I knew there was going to be
Any,
a flood of people doing this
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, this is just the beginning.
I've seen about 4 this month already, but I used to buy back in the days when there was a bit more cash flow. I used to buy links of PosiRank, and they was expensive. They was
Sure.
most expensive, one of the most expensive in the business. But like, yeah, if you had deep pockets, they were the place to go to.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can I just ask you one question? But you've worked a new agency thing, right? And you have
Sure.
a buy button and stuff now. What do you do then if you get some big monster site, that I don't know, personal injury lawyers are worth 14 billion, and do you know what I mean? You're not happy about them jumping on board for about like whatever 197.
Sure. Well, all you have to do is you just put some parameters in there. You can just say,
Right.
this deal is for sites that are up to this many pages or whatever. You can put parameters on it.
No problem. I've dropped that into the chat if anybody wants to look at it as well.
Okay. Yeah.
PosiRank thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna just go and deep dive on and just jump into it anyway.
Yeah, I don't think you'll go wrong with it. I mean, if you're going to be
Mm-hmm.
in this business, any resources that come along, is probably a worthwhile thing.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing about with the Optimancer, with the funnel is totally customizable. And I'll show you guys. I showed you the generic one. That was the one that if you just took it out of the box, threw your logo on it, that's what it looked like. But here, I'll show you. This is the one that we did for Linda. Looks totally different, right? This actually matches her website. So, and she renamed the product instead of Optimancer, she called it Freedomancer because her thing is test drive freedom. So she's got a freedom thing. So she named the product Freedomancer. And she just, it's the same page, but it's got all of her colors. It's got her styling. So it looks like you're on her website. It's even got the Q&A, and it's got all of her footers. So you can easily customize the site to look like, to match your site. And I did that with my new site. I'm developing a completely new site. And I think I showed you guys a week or two ago, but this site here, this is the theme that I finally landed on. So I'm going with the UPS Brown for reliability. This is really easily readable. It looks high end. It's got a lot of the stuff like my boat in there. Um, it's got the new book, but it's got this real high end feel to it, much more than I've ever had before. And then when you go into the sub pages, like say you go into the services, it's all customized with Becky. She's there with videos to walk you through everything. But everything is like brand service related now. If you go to the affiliate section, here she's got a bag of money for you. And the other thing about this, if you go to the about, it's actually got me on there, me and her. And notice a lot of you guys have asked me about breadcrumbs because you saw breadcrumbs come up in the Optimancer report of site doesn't have breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs is basically this right here. It's got home, which is your base directory, and then the page that you're on. If you're in a page that's deeper, it'll have another link over here, and it's a breadcrumb back to the original base directory. These are like gold for SEO. Hardly anybody does them, but if you'll notice, there's usually breadcrumbs in big sites like eBay. eBay's got breadcrumbs. Um, the big Wikipedia site has breadcrumbs. Amazon, they all have these built-in breadcrumbs that's navigation back to how you got there. So that's one of the things that people were asking me about. And so I figured, well, as long as AI is building the site, I don't mind doing a little extra work or let it do the extra work to throw the breadcrumbs on the pages. But as you go down the list, the breadcrumb will get longer and longer. And those are all internal links. So that's another thing that will help you with your SEO is breadcrumbs. So the site's coming along. AI is back there. It's doing work right now on it, building pages out for me. Pretty.
Yeah, that site looks deadly. I used to do breadcrumbs back in the day, John, around about 2010 before, and I was absolutely shit at design, but the only thing I could get right was the breadcrumbs. But here, man, I've been designing the site all week on Claude. It looks good, but flip me, it doesn't look anywhere near as good as that you have there. That looks the flipping deadly.
Yeah, I've been using this new program, and I know I keep talking about it. It's still not available for the public yet. It's driving me absolutely nuts. I'm going through a company called Charge Blast, and it's something that my developers are requiring because we're using Stripe as the payment gateway. And the reason that we're using Stripe, I use Stripe with Acquisition Air too. And the reason for it is with Stripe, you can actually cut payments. Like let's say you put the checkout button on your page when somebody comes through and orders through that Stripe checkout button, you can actually auto split payments out to different vendors. And this is the way that the programmers make sure they get their cut. So they don't have to ask for it. It just, as soon as a payment comes through, their cut goes to them and everybody's happy. The thing with Stripe, though, is you have to make sure that you don't have a high level of chargeback. So we're using this company called Charge Blast. And what they do is it's a service that rides on top of your payment gateway and it prevents people from doing chargebacks. Like if they even start the chargeback process, it automatically just refunds their payment and kills the chargeback. So basically, you should have like zero chargeback. So your Stripe account will never get a bad reputation. And it's just been such a pain in the ass to work with these charge blast guys. So I think I'm still about a week out from them getting everything connected so I can actually function. But man, I mean, if you could just jump through the line and smack somebody upside the head, I would have done it already. It's been a real pain. But that program is really just kicked butt for design work and even the marketing funnels. You know, I've been using that stuff to build all these campaigns and all the even the funnel for Optimancer that was all built using this. So it really, really kicks butt. I can't wait to offer it up. And it does it's been doing the Becky clones too. Like I had it clone Becky, so it has a precision image of Becky now. So when I need banners and stuff with her or any, videos, voices, all of that stuff, it really, really kicks butt. So, and I know all that does is make you want it. So I don't have it for you yet. So I should probably stop that. But I really do expect that to come out very soon. Ahmed, go ahead.
Well, I think you may have answered that question. How soon were you thinking of? Because
Uh,
honestly, it's everything. Everything's been going on with what you're offering. It's great, but you need somebody in the background to be able to do a lot of the tech with Kartra and be
yeah,
able to develop and everything else. And this seems to be a one package that does it all.
yeah. The
And
this
and for
thing,
what I need, I think even though it seems to be a lot more energy invested to learning
yeah,
more of
eh,
the other stuff than I need to.
yeah, yeah. Now I will tell you, we're making the front end of it cheap, but it runs on credits. You know, when you're creating stuff like it does phenomenal video stuff too. It'll create like cinematic videos, but it does chew up the credits really quickly for that stuff. So it's not the cheapest thing, but if you use any AI now, any AI that's doing cinematic video, you're going to be paying through the nose for the credits. But I'm like I am a heavy user now. I'm using this thing like all day and all night. My agents are running like constantly building stuff for me. And I've spent quite a bit. Like to build that website, it was several $100s worth of credits. But when I look at, the what it did, it's like there's no way I could get that done. That kind of design work and the elements. It's like for you to do that in WordPress, I don't know how many plugins you'd have to have, but it would make the site just crawl on its knees because of all the server horsepower. Like for instance, I'll show you again. You might not have noticed this, but this header up here, I'll go back to the home page. See, this header is transparent. It's actually showing the background through it.
Yeah.
So in all of our images, when I have it make, these are called hero images up here. When I have it create the hero image, I tell it fade to dark at the top because we have a header that requires a dark background. But notice what happens when, as soon as I start to scroll, since the rest of the site is light, that dark header would clash with it. So as soon as I start to scroll, the transparency goes away and it locks in white. So that way, when we get to this portion of the site, it looks perfect. Now, I don't even know how the hell I would go about that in using WordPress. I'm sure there's plugins, but you would need so many plugins to do all the effects that I've got in this thing. It would be crazy. But then when it needs to, it rolls back to the darker color, so it just looks absolutely beautiful. And all of the pages do this. As soon as you start to scroll, it locks in the white and takes the transparent out. Because as this scrolled by, that would look horrible in the transparent behind that text.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
So,
The question you're talking about tokens. So in other words, you're talking about setting it up as a token usage system like you would do with Manus and app
yeah,
packets and whatever.
it's just like in the Quantum Suite. We have tokens in there for the video stuff. All the stuff that's really high labor intensive on tokens, we have to charge for tokens. We didn't do that when we first started, and we took a real hit the first couple of months because we had some agency owners that grabbed Quantum, for $20 a month, and they were going in there and they were running constant nonstop video generation for their clients. And we're charging them $20, and here it's winding up costing us hundreds of dollars for their video generation.
We appreciate that, John. I'm
So
just saying, I appreciate it.
I was like, whoa, 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 we got to pump the brakes on this one. And a lot of people were pissed. They complained about that. They're like, oh, well, I'm paying for this. Why do I have to pay for credits now? And it's like, if I didn't do that, I couldn't give you the base platform for $20. I'd have to be figuring out what's my average cost and then spreading it across everybody, versus this way it's much more fair. You get access with the low cost, and then you just pay for your usage. You're not paying for everyone else's usage. So it's the only real fair way to do it.
So what is like a token equivalent? Let's say you spend 1,000 tokens. How does that equate to dollars or value?
We'll actually, when we roll out, we'll actually have that in there so you can see like how many credits, and you'll get so many, like for your base account, you'll get so many per month, and then you can add to it whatever you want.
Okay. Now, this system of example, like how you said you created this transparencies and the Becky's and so forth,
Mm-hmm.
are all those are part of this whole thing, and then it depends on how much you want to use in tokens to create what you have created, or
Well, what you'll get in your account is you'll get basically a blank canvas to create whatever you want. So if you have different characters, like, not everybody's going to want Becky. I mean, I don't know who wouldn't want
I
Becky.
mean, I'm just using Becky as an example. So,
Yeah,
would
yeah.
there be a template to create a bot
Yes.
equivalent to a Becky, for
Oh
example?
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I haven't played around with it yet, but there's actually voice agents in there too. So you can connect to your Twilio account, and then you could have Becky have a hotline and people could call her and talk to her. So that's some really cool stuff. I haven't even had a chance to play with that part yet. It's like, I swear to God, when you're dealing with programmers, they overbuild shit. Like whenever I'm dealing with a programmer, I say, look, I just want it simple. I want, this, and this. And then, they spend 6 months putting it all together and they roll it out. And it's like, oh my God, what the hell is all of this stuff? And they build all the cool bells and whistles into it. And then it's like, they don't understand. It's like, I have to support this shit. I'm going to have to learn how to do all that stuff. Like with Chris, with Optimancer, I'm like, what in the hell are you doing? You know?
And and speaking of support, actually, are you still open to doing a Zoom training, the 1 day or 2 days you were talking about, you and you were talking about a date either coming to California or that. Are
Yeah,
you still in
yeah,
for that? And when were you thinking they
absolutely.
sent you back and did
I'm
they email
I'm kind
response?
of I'm kind of waiting until we roll out the Sorcerer because I want to be able to use that.
Okay,
I want that to be a base part of the training.
okay, okay.
So
And that would be the basic template that encompasses everything just about.
yeah. Yeah, because with that you could pretty much do just about anything you want to do.
Okay, fair
So
enough.
So Act, you'll no longer be able to buy Quantum on its own. Quantum is going to be part of the Act program because it's the basic GPTs
Yeah, yeah.
that are pre-programmed for the Act program. So it's a great add-on for Act people, Act members. But the Sorcerer, uh, that thing is just going to be like a gorilla. Yeah, that it doesn't matter what you're doing, that thing is going to come in and just dominate it. So
All right.
it's I'm
And
really I'm really excited about it.
I'll be patient and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Oh man, you share some of that patience with me because I'm about to lose my mind on this thing. All right, Allie.
Yeah, I'm excited about this too. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait. I wanted to ask, to me, I get the token usage and all that, and I know that you're very fair and you always take good care of us. So I'm not worried about that, but uh not but and I was wondering, let's just say John, I'm an artist and I have paintings and sculptures and all that. So let's say I build the website with your new product. Um, like, will it take ongoing tokens to keep it running, or how does that work? Is the tokens
The,
just
the
to build it?
the tokens are only for usage.
Okay.
Like when you're building it, yeah, you're using tokens to do the build. But
Mhm.
once the website's up and running, you're not, there's no connection.
Okay.
Like
So, all
maybe a
right.
year from now, you want to add another product, so you need to add some pages, then you use it to add the pages to it or do your edits or whatever you want to do.
It's amazing.
So you're
And
only paying literally for the usage that you use.
wonderful. And then your site is just so beautiful. It came out so beautiful. And as you were scrolling through it, I was like, because my head is the old way of you got to go find the picture and you got to go write the copy. And
Yeah.
did it do everything for you? Like, did you have to prompt the heck out of it, load back end content?
I did prompt the hell out of it. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I
Yeah.
spent a lot of time working with it, and it has been a tremendous education for me in how to work with the agentic AI.
Mm,
Because here's the thing: the agents, I swear to God, they're just like employees.
mm.
They will try and pull shit, and
Really?
yeah, oh yeah, you have to hold them accountable.
Oh my.
It is the craziest thing.
Mm.
Like I will lock in different procedures and they go into memory. And I tell it, if you build me a web page ever in the future, I want you to follow these procedures. Don't ever hand me a website from this day forward that is not got these procedures run on it.
So you have the procedures, and did you build the procedures like, let's just say Claude or Perplexity, or did your system build the procedures?
It was built right inside because what I do is as I'm prompting it, once I get something the way I want it, I lock it in. I
Uh-huh.
say, okay, this procedure is perfect. I want you to lock it in memory so you can repeat this over and over and over in the future. Like
Okay.
like Becky's voice, for instance, it took me a half a day back and forth to get her voice the way I wanted it.
Mm.
And it actually sounds like her.
Mm-hmm.
Becky is based on a real character from my past. And I didn't know how to recreate that voice other than just going back and forth and back and forth. And finally we hit it. And I'm like, you lock that in. I don't want you to ever forget this.
Mm,
I don't want to have to go through this process again with you.
mm.
So it's done very good with that. But every once in a while, I'll have it do a Becky voiceover and it'll be somebody else. And I'm like, what happened to Becky's voice? And
Mm.
it'll say, oh, I'm so sorry. I skipped the procedure.
Had an AI brain fart.
Yeah. And I'm like,
So all of
what?
that, like, so your agentic agents, do you have agents for a lot of different paths, and then do you have a master agent,
Yeah.
and then
So
they all like if then kind of thing?
so here's how it works, just broad stroke overview. There's roughly 1,600 agents built in out of the box.
With your new product.
Yes.
Okay.
They're
This is
built in.
that we're talking about, right? Source air?
Yeah.
Sorcerer?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And they have different skill sets. So when you ask it, like let's say you pull up a chat agent, that's like your CEO or
Mhm.
your chief of staff. You tell it what you want. And then what it does is it goes and it searches the database for the appropriate agent that has the skills to do that. And it pulls that agent or agents in on the project. In a lot of cases, there'll be multiple agents working on a single project. So it goes and it sources, and then for you, like these procedures that I'm talking about, when I lock in a procedure, basically I am creating a new agent and I'm adding it to the pile.
And is that easy to figure out? I mean, you have your team. I'm just
Well,
wondering,
you
like
do it
you're like,
with your
I locked
prompt.
that in, and I'm thinking like Aaron, oh my God, how do I lock it in?
Yeah, no, you literally do that with your prompts.
Oh, with
And
prompts.
and
Okay.
again, this is part of my learning process of learning to work with agentic AI. I had no idea how powerful it was.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, that I've done a tremendous amount of work over the last month or two using this thing.
Mm.
And I have learned a lot about it, like things I wasn't even thinking about.
Wow.
Now it's like, holy shit, this is a whole new world I just got dropped into.
When we get to use Sorcerer Air, will we be able to maybe tap your brain?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what I was talking about. I'm gonna do like some seminars and stuff specifically to that because you guys need to know how to use it.
Yeah.
I want everybody to get what I'm getting out of it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be part of the process is sharing what I've learned and how I've gotten the results I've gotten.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's a lot of agentic AI out right now that people
Yeah.
are using. Like Manus has one. There's, I think Claude has Claude Code and
Right.
different stuff. So it's not like this. It's not like I've created a wheel. I'm basically repackaging a wheel, but then showing you how to put it on a race car.
That's the most valuable. Yeah. I mean, that to me is what you're golden at. I mean, you
Yeah,
sit
I mean,
all muck and then pick the good one and help us out. So that's excellent.
and I'm doing what I've always done. I'm white label branding something that I can sell under my own label. I could probably go out and do what I'm doing using something like Manus or Claude Code or whatever, some other agentic AI. I could probably do that, no problem. But at the end, I don't have anything. I don't own anything. I don't have any proprietary thing that belongs to me.
Mhm.
And this is the same thing with you guys. You guys should be thinking in terms of how do I create products that are my own, even though they're all over, they're common products, but it's my product. Because that gives you something to sell, it gives you recurring income. That's why, like almost everything I put out, I make it white labelable. So you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And literally take like what Linda did. She took my Optimancer and she renamed it Freedomancer. Now that's her product. She sells Freedomancer as her product to her customers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So it's really
it's
cool.
it's exciting. Um,
Yeah.
Thank you. I just want a little clarity about that because I'm pulling and saving for it. I'm saving up. Oh, okay, thanks, John.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that is taking a little longer than I would like is we are building the white label into the Sorcerer product. So if you guys want to package it as your own agentic AI and sell it and have a product of your own for your customers, that's recurring revenue for you forever.
But you'll also have an affiliate link so that we can just channel
Yep.
it to you and do it. Like, to me, that's the path. I don't want to have to help other people. I can barely
Abs
figure it out.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Daryl, go ahead.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
All this is so darn exciting. I feel kind of funny going all the way very back to the basics here. A couple months ago, I asked you this question. It came into the comments, your answer, but my computer blacked out, so I never got. I don't remember what the answer was.
Oh,
Anyway,
well, if it came
looking
in
for
the if the answer
looking for the
came in the
buyer
comments, it
signals.
wasn't me.
No, that was my computer. Buying signals. You told me it was under Rainmaker. Well, I've gone in and looking for Rainmaker, and it's not appearing on any of the pages that I have.
Oh,
Did they disappear or
no, no,
get moved, or am I just
are you
off the deep end?
are you looking for the buying signals masterclass?
Yes.
Okay, that's on my homepage of Internet Dominators. It's the first top offer.
Okay, I will try it again, and if it's not there, I'll send a support message.
I'm gonna approve it. All right.
Sometimes I get an error message trying to log in.
So if you go to the Internet Dominators site,
Mm-hmm.
God, this thing looks so ugly now that I'm used to looking at the new one.
Right.
It's this right here. Emotional buying triggers. It's the first offer.
Okay.
And it's a freebie. You can get instant access to it.
Can't be any simpler than that.
It's the first choice on the homepage.
I don't know. Okay, thank you. I'm done feeling foolish.
It's right there.
The get instant access though, I don't get a pop up. Maybe I'm.
Let me see here. Oh, you're right. I guess maybe my agentic AI screwed that up.
Yeah, it's doing a pop up, but it goes to a blank target equal blank.
Oh,
Page.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, so I click it.
Thank you, Richard. I'm glad to know it's not just me.
Okay, I have a fix for you. I see what it did. I see exactly what happened. All right, I'm going to show you the fix here. Okay, so you're on here, right? You click the button, and what it does, it pops up a new blank screen. And the reason it's doing this, I'll tell you the reason. The site runs on CSS, and this is probably going to be deeper and darker than any of you want to go, but I'm going to tell you why. The site runs on CSS codes that affects everything site wide. I told the agentic AI to put a rule in the CSS that if there was ever a button that went external, open it in a new window. So that button wasn't really an external link, but it saw it as such. So it opened this blank window. If you close the blank window, you go back to the other page, and there it is right there, waiting for you. So it does work. It is doing its thing. If you just put your name and email in there and you agree to the terms, I just want to make damn sure it works. All right, there's all your buying triggers. So it is there and it is functioning. When you click the button, just close the new window that it popped up And I will go back and scold my agentic AI for mistake.
Actually,
Thank you,
I
John.
tried it. I just tried it, John, and it works fine.
Yeah,
I tried it too and it works, so it's working great.
I'm gonna go back and say, damn it, you're supposed to be smarter than I am. All right, so problem solved. All right. Richard, go ahead.
Yeah, just to finish wrapping up on that, I'm hoping you can hear me okay.
Yep.
Um, the all your buying triggers are all individual videos or something. It's not just one document that you can download.
Correct. It's each one is a lesson. So I've packaged it as a master class. So each one of the buying triggers, I think there's like 20 of them. They are an individual lesson on that buying trigger. And I swear to God, I every day I see, oh, that's the bias trigger. Oh, that's the IKEA effect. And I swear they're everywhere. Once you learn these things, you'll literally see them everywhere.
Okay, well, that's great. Thank you, John. That was not my question. When you were back talking about your sorcerer, you said when you want to lock something in. My question was, do you create an MD file, a markdown file, so that you, and then put it in a folder so it can reference it? But then you said something about that creates another agent. I'm a little bit unclear about what they're talking about that, or is that too
Well, that
technical about what we're talking about?
no, that actually is what it does. It creates an MD file, and I believe that those MD files actually act as the agents. I think that's how it's working under the hood. So the MD file is basically just a text file. It's kind of funky. It's some kind of a markup language.
It's
And
basically a text file, but it has a basic, uh, what you might call formatting using pound signs and dashes and that sort of stuff. So it
yes,
actually, the AI treats it like it's actually a formatted document, but you can open it with a text file.
yeah,
And I create MD files on whenever I do anything at the end of the thing, I say end of session and it creates a markdown file and a text file and then the separate different files for if it's going to be for an admin file or a sales file or a tech file or whatever, it creates all those MD files. So I don't know what to do with them, but I'm saving them so that
yeah.
hopefully I'll be able to give it to somebody like you, your guy, and have it
Well,
organize them.
well, the one thing that you want to do with them that's probably the most important thing is label them for what it
Okay.
is.
Well, they're absolutely every one of them's the naming convention is very,
Yes.
very clear. Yes.
Yeah, no, if you've done that, then basically what you're doing is you're saving every skill that you're building with the agents. And I believe that those MD files actually are the agents under the hood. So like when you're working with your agent, telling him you want, he goes and he figures out, oh, okay, that's going to take these 5 skills. Where do I find those MD files? And then it pulls those in to do the work. I'm pretty sure that's how it's working under the hood.
Okay, because I know those needed to be collected, but I didn't know whether I needed the Carthy mind map or set up an MPC server or a vector mapping and one guy's talking about, oh no, you can just do it with a folder structure. And it's like,
Yeah. And you
that's
could,
so I'm so underwater with that.
by the way, those are kind of like GPTs. So what you can do, like let's say you move to a different AI. Let's say you're working in Claude and now you're in Perplexity and you're like, oh shit, I wish I had that skill from over there. You just load the MD file and say, here's the procedure. And
Yeah,
you
I want
can,
all my brain to be my brain. I don't want it to be locked into somebody else's platform for that
yeah,
reason.
yeah. So those MD files are portable. And here's the other thing that is built into our system. Two features that I have not seen. Well, I've seen one of them in other places, but one of the features is ours is a closed environment. And it's closed because some of the clients that we plan on hitting are for medical and they have HIPAA compliance and regulation. So we have sealed the compartment. So whatever you do in your account it does not bleed out ever anywhere. It's literally that is your shell. No one can penetrate it, and it doesn't leave there. So it's not like shared with outside AI, and most of them are. So that's one feature that we've got built in. And the other one is perpetual memory across all chats, which that can be a good thing and that can be a bad thing. The bad part, let me just tell you the bad part. And I learned this right out of the gate. I started up and I started feeding it my brain. And I started working on my stuff. And then I needed something for Linda. Linda needed something real quick. So I went in and I said, okay, here, I need this. And it did it, no problem. But then I went back to my project and it started putting references from Linda's clientele and stuff in my project. And I'm like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Where the hell did that come from? And in asking it how it works, how it functions, it says, oh, I have perpetual memory across all chats. And I said, okay, well, here's the first comment, or here's my first command to you is let's erase that. Let's start fresh. Now that I know that, we need to start fresh. And I'm going to tell you who I am. I'm going to tell you what my business is. I'm going to tell you what each of my products are. And I want you to compartmentalize. And I also want you to understand that I'm going to be doing client work. And the client work, the only thing that should be shared with the client work is my brain. It should not go in reverse order. I don't want the client work coming back over the hill into my box. My box overflows into clients. Clients' boxes do not flow into my box. So I set the platform. And that's something that's really important with this agentic stuff. If you don't do that, you're going to have weird creep across everything and it's going to ruin your results. It's going to absolutely contaminate everything that you do. So,
John,
Allie, yeah.
do you do that separating? Do you say, okay, I'm John Limbocker, and then you tell it and train it on you, and then you say, are you creating a client? Like, are you telling it create a client, whatever I would call it, project or folder, like a separate whole
Well,
subset? And then you would say, like, Richard Porter is one of my clients, and Ahmed and Ali, and we're each separate underneath your client. Like it's like a little wall, but it feeds us your stuff, but it doesn't bleed back.
Yeah, it's very similar to like Chat GPT, where you start a new chat. Like I could start a new chat and say, this chat is for Richard Porter. He's a client. Here's the details. This is a closed compartment. This is a client of mine. And then it will keep all of that in there. It will reference my skills to bring into his box to help build whatever I need to build for him. But all of his details will remain in that box and not creep back over into my stuff.
Okay.
And
And
then I
then
could create a new
everything
chat.
that you would do for Richard.
Mm-hmm.
Does
And
that
I'm
continue?
even doing it for my own stuff.
Mhm.
Like I have 9 different product lines.
Mhm.
It's very important to me to keep those separate because they're different. They're for different clients, they're for different purposes. They have different avatars. And I don't want it mixed up. I want the marketing campaigns that it's building for me to be really, really nailed down.
Mhm.
So I have to compartmentalize my products because of that.
So each of your products is like a separate client.
Yeah, so I give it a base.
Access to the mainframe of John's brain.
Yeah, I literally gave it my brain first. I
Okay.
said, here's the stuff that I want used amongst everything that we do together. And
Mhm.
here's the stuff I want compartmentalized into a specific channel, specific column. And that was like, if there was one thing that I've learned about this that is the most important thing, it's that.
Yes, 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 yes. I got
That
that, man.
that that will probably save most of you
Mm-hmm.
years of frustration and learning right there.
Yeah. John, I do have one last question. When you were saying you want to build your own products, and I agree with that completely, but even if you white label it and we get to use it and rebrand it, um, I don't want to be macabre here, but if you're abducted by aliens, um, how does all this stuff survive you? So we still have that product because one of the problems with the multi-level marketing stuff is that you can have a great product and be your business and all the rest of it, but if home base goes out of business or disappears, you're out of business immediately. And how do we have those products be ours and really be ours in perpetuity, so to speak?
Well, I can assure you of this. All the stuff that I do makes money. And if all of a sudden I cease to exist, there's people in the picture that are not going to want that money to go away. So they're going to support it beyond me. And there's people in place that can do that. Like I'll be totally honest with you. I don't know shit about this Sorcerer. The programmers, if they're the real brain behind it. I'm just the face of it. I'm just putting together the channel and all of that. I'm just the path for you to get to it. So in the retrospect, I'm probably the least important piece of the puzzle.
Definitely one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle.
No, I don't
That's
agree.
important. So, but I don't agree with that necessarily. No.
Well,
The
as far as the
personality is the
product,
brain. The personality is the brain, and each of us needs to have, because that's going to be one of the biggest moats that we're going to be able to have going into the agentic is the thing that is looking out in the world. These faces, that's the source of your brand. And if it's going to be AI and all that sort of stuff, I'll tell you, my AI avatar looks better than I do. It looks like me, but it's a better version of me, I'll tell you. And
well, I can assure you, Becky damn sure looks better than I do. And I am creating her to be the face of the entire brand. I don't know if you guys have caught that yet, but I'm creating her so I can step out of the picture. I don't know if you guys get that or not.
Yeah.
absolutely, that's part of the branding, and that will be your moat is the voice and the face of whoever it is. Whether you can create a cartoon character to be, for all that matters,
Yeah.
whatever fits your market and your brand, but your personality, because your personality and trust are going to be two of the biggest moats in AI going forward. Those are things that the AI absolutely can't replicate, is you and whether or not somebody trusts you and whether or not you keep your word, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah.
But see, if I build Becky out to be everything I am and that I've trained her and she is, in alignment with all of my core values and all of that stuff, and she is an integral part of the company and the delivery of my message, then I've really accomplished that through her. And that is my ultimate goal. And that's why I've spent so much time making sure I get her right. It's, I've been kind of playing her out with that idea in mind for several years now. And now I think I've pretty much got it dialed in. There's a lot of people that don't know she's not real.
Wow. She is really good.
Yeah. I mean, I had people that didn't know she was real when she was a cartoon character on Acquisition Air, just interacting with them.
I remember the first time you told us somebody bought the product because she was flirting with them.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, Richard, are you complete? I don't want to interrupt your flow.
That's okay. We're all kind of jumping in here. It's all a great, big, wonderful stew. I just wanted to make sure that just reconfirm, because at 75, business succession is something that's kind of top of mind for me. And John is a long way from where I am, but I just wanted to make sure, because all of John's stuff is certainly legacy worth, and when I'm not around, I want to be able to have this to be able to continue on beyond me. And I'd never quite heard it formally from John's lips to my little ears to make sure I'm sort of like, okay, yeah, because if there's a lot of guys that have got, those coins are flowing into other people's pockets, they're going to make sure that the spigot doesn't stop. That's the important part.
Yeah, yeah. And I got to tell you, as far as her being flirtatious and things, yeah, she's very good at that. What I'll do, I'm going to share something with you guys that I don't want on the recording, so I'm going to stop our recording here.
Oh, here we go.
Intrigue for the faithful.
All right. So for those of you, it's a great week. We'll see you next week.